Warning: the following program may contain material not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Kill the noise and cut the static. Broadcasting from high in the mountains of West Virginia, we're leaving the 9 to 5 in the rearview mirror. The engine is warm, the lights are green, and it's finally time to shift your Wednesday into overdrive. And now, here's your host, Diego the Podcaster.
On this episode of Bonus Overdrive Wednesday, we're doing something just a little bit different. I've gathered 5 of our favorite former guests, the authors, the artists, and some of my greatest friends. So I decided to put one question to them. What are the films that keep you up at night? From psychological terrors to classic slashers, they're breaking down their ultimate top 5 horror movie picks. This isn't just a list, my friends. It is a map into the minds of the people who create the nightmares you love to read and listen to. Let me know in the comments section if they picked your favorite movie, or if you feel they may have missed some gems somewhere around there. So let's find out right now.
I'm author Dustin Grammer and also the owner of Moonlight Monster Media. This is my most recent book, Moo. Diego has asked me to name my top 5 horror films, which is very hard to do, so I'm going to name 5 films that I really like that are horror in no particular order, starting with Silver Bullet, my favorite werewolf movie, also based off of a story written by Stephen King, who is one of my favorite authors. Number 2, I would say The Lost Boys, because it was a very good 80s style movie, good classic vampire story. That one's a lot of fun. Go back to classic monsters, because I really like Universal monsters. I would go with The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and me and my daughter watch that one together sometimes, and I like that. I like the creature's design. I'm gonna go with, on another choice, I'd say Halloween, the original, because it's a John Carpenter movie. I like John Carpenter, and also that movie is probably the one that scared me the most out of my whole life. Maybe that and It when I was really young, but I would go with Halloween. Michael Myers has scared the crap out of me for so long that it took me a while to watch this movie, and so that one. And then I'm going to go with another slasher for the final 5th choice, and this was tough. I kind of rolled around several different options there because there's so many good movies, but I'm going to go with Friday the 13th, Part 6, because I like the fact that they have the returning character of Tommy Jarvis, and he goes into the graveyard, and basically you get zombie Jason. He resurrects and comes back, and I don't know, I just thought that one was a really cool, and I like the other ones. I like a lot of the other ones too, but that one was really a standout for me. So those are going to be my top 5 picks for you, Diego. That's what I've got.
Hello there. I am talking to you now about 5 horror movies that I really like. And I was asked to do this by my favorite podcaster and friend, Diego the Podcaster. So he asked me to list on a video 5 of my favorite horror movies. So obviously that's a hard pick because I watch lots of them. But I've narrowed it down to my top 5. I think I have them in order even, but you know, my mood may change from time to time. But number 1 for me isn't typically on anybody else's number 1 list, and it's a Wes Craven classic from 1977, The Hills Have Eyes. There's something about mutants out in the desert, nuclear radiation, fallout, that kind of stuff. I loved it. My number 2 movie is The Exorcist. That's probably number 1 on a lot of people's list. One of the things that I really liked about this is it was rated R, and I snuck into it underage with a cousin of mine. So, we were technically breaking the law by being there without any kind of parents, much less being old enough to see it, based on the rating. But watching Reagan's head spin around, come on, man, it was pretty intense for a young kid. My number 3 movie is an old black and white silent movie, Nosferatu, a German movie based on Dracula, kind of a knockoff, for which they got sued by the Stoker family, but nevertheless, Nosferatu made it to my number 3. Number 4 for me is from 1980 or 81, I don't remember exactly. It's called The Howling. It's a werewolf movie, which I saw in a theater. I think I saw it in a drive-in first, but my biggest memory is from seeing it in a theater and seeing how the crowd reacted when the face started elongating and turning into the werewolf. There was something about the special effects then that kind of blew away what I was used to from previous special effects, and that movie still sticks with me. And for my 5th choice, I go back even farther to another black and white movie, an Alfred Hitchcock classic, Norman Bates and his mom in Psycho. So there you go. There's my top 5 as requested by Diego the Podcaster.
Hello everyone, my name is Jason J. Tavares, and I'm an author and a filmmaker. You can find books that I've written on Amazon.com, and my films can be located on YouTube, both under the same name. My latest book is called Curb Grass, Short Stories Written Between Walks, and that's exactly what it is, as you can see on the cover. Hopefully you enjoy the book and you do get a chance to check it out. I think out of the 17 short stories that are in there, which equal a 300-page book, it's a good-sized book, there's something for everybody within its contents, and I feel that almost anybody that reads it will find something that they can enjoy. As for my 5 top scary movies, I like to start with The Exorcist. Second being Ghost Story. The third, Fatal Attraction. And for guys out there, if you watch this and you haven't seen it, you'll see why. Very frightening. The Skeleton Key. And Mama. Mama, I found by accident. I think it was in 2013. My girlfriend and I decided to go to a movie. We saw a poster and we walked in and we said, let's see that. And we were pretty scared, so it's worth seeing. Thank you for your time.
Hello guys, my name is Thomas Marcum, and you may know me from some of my films like Bigfoot, The Legend is Real, or maybe some of the books that I've authored over the years. My latest book is Mysteries Unlimited Tennessee, and you can find it on Amazon, and it is part of a series that explores folklore and legends in various states. But today I want to share with you my top 5 horror movies. Now, this list is subject to change, so if you ask me next week, it might be a little bit different. But coming in at number 5 for me is a movie called Slashers. It's a 2001 film, and it features 6 contestants that go on a game show that are hunted by what's known as slashers. And if they survive the night, they win millions of dollars. It's a little obscure film that I really like and enjoy. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. Coming in at number 4 for me is Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Classic Freddy movie where they go into the dream world. It's just a fun movie for me. I enjoy it very well. Number 3 for me is Return of the Living Dead 2. A fun movie, got some funny parts in it. Even part 1 is really good too, but part 2 kind of stuck a little better for me. So number 3 is Return of the Living Dead 2. And number 2 for me is Evil Dead 2. They return to the cabin and, of course, the Necronomicon and all that stuff, and it just goes wild. It's a fun movie. And growing up, when I first had my son, he watched that movie every night as he went to sleep. He would lay and watch that movie as he went to sleep when he was just a little boy. He loved it as well. But it's a fun movie. So Evil Dead 2 is my number 2. Now my number 1 is not a popular movie. A lot of people probably maybe not like it at all, but I find it very entertaining. And my number 1 is, drum roll please, Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. The movie's just put together well for me. I really like how it flows, and the terror scenes are really good. And after all, the Saw is family. So that's my number 1, and I don't see it changing. I watch it usually a couple times a year. So Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is my number 1 horror movie. Yeah, right now, anyways. So anyways, thanks for watching the video, and good luck with everything.
Hey guys, J.E. Shook here. This is kind of informal, but co-host Diego asked us to do a list of our 5 favorite horror movies. First, I've grew up on horror movies, so this is good for me. It kind of influenced the books I've written, which have been, a bunch. It's Amadeus Creed, Sammy the Chosen One, Papa Gumbo, The Dogman, the Michigan Monster, Tempest, the Night Stalker, Unit 731, Escape from the Dragon Shadow, Gluteus Maximus, Akachi, and Everyone Picks Their Nose. Excuse me, I got a little throat thing going. But, I just, about a week ago, I went with an 11-year-old to go see a new horror movie called Backrooms. If you haven't seen it, I don't understand the lore, but it's pretty interesting. Go check that out. If I had to choose just 5 horror movies, that's hard because I really love horror movies. I grew up on horror movies from way too young of an age. I really like the slashers. So in order for me to pick 5, it's difficult. So again, I do this video and I get phlegm in my throat. It's great. But I'd say at number 5, when I was growing up, again, I love Tremors. It was on TV 3 times a week for about a decade, TBS and everything else. Giant worms coming up from the ground. You can't run from them. You can't hide from them. Kevin Bacon's just trying not to get, become worm food. I still one of my favorite movies to watch. I like the whole series. I know some people don't like the later ones, but it's all in good taste, depending on what you like. If I had to go for number 4, I would pick the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I like the original. I saw it when I was like 5. Don't do that. Don't let your kids watch. But 5, I like the first one, the second one, the third one. They were all pretty good. So, I always liked Bubba, Leatherface. He was always when I was a kid, he was one of the scarier characters. Let's see. If I had to go for number 3, it's definitely anything by George A. Romero, but I'm going to say Night of the Living Dead. I watched the original as a kid. It's an older movie, but I loved it. I watched the remake of it. I loved it too. The story stayed pretty much the same, but, they did change the characters around a little bit. So, but both of them were really good. And for the second and the first, they're interchangeable. I mean, I loved them both growing up. But like I said, I was a slasher guy, so Friday the 13th, you got a big guy with a machete walking around killing people. All the movies are pretty much the same movie, but they're all great. It's just 80s cheesy stuff, big guy, hockey mask, just killing people. Don't go have sex in the woods. And then Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. I liked him because unlike, some of the other guys, he could talk. He was funny, and, he would torment you before he'd kill you. His thing wasn't necessarily a body count. It was more, how much fear can I generate before I kill you? Kind of like what Pennywise does. But, those are 5 I really like, but there's so many. I got to throw a few honorable mentions in here, and you're going to laugh at one of them. When I was a kid, again, a lot of these go back to when I was a kid, but I would say Gremlins. That's definitely the little monsters running around terrorizing the town. I loved it. Let's see here. Another movie about little monsters terrorizing everybody would be Critters. If you haven't seen Critters, go watch them. They're these little space porcupine things. They go around and they pretty much kill and eat everything. So it's great. I mean, gotta go with the Evil Dead. If you watch, as a kid, I watched part 1 and part 2, and I got confused because one's like a remake of the other, but it's done a little different. But anything with Bruce Campbell in it's, pretty decent.
And I'd have to say one of the best, I ain't going to say horror movies, but it's the best Halloween movie ever made, has got to be Ernest Scared Stupid. So if you got any young kids running around that like Halloween, they like horror, let them watch Ernest. That's a great starter movie for horror, because the Trentor the Troll was actually pretty scary. The rest of it was your typical Ernest thing, but, you know, it's a great movie. But yeah, I definitely, Tremors, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, there's so many, but my top 5 would Tremors, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, Night of the Living Dead, Friday the 13th. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going to throw, you know, 100 other guys in here, which is fine. 100 other monsters, that's fine. There's, you know, it depends on what you like, but there are a lot of really good horror movies out. So support the guys making them, and let's go watch some movies together.
All content on this broadcast is a property of Diego the Podcaster and is served directly from our servers with no modification, redirects, or rehosting. All celebrity impersonators are paid performers. The impersonated celebrities do not endorse or promote any views or opinions expressed by our guests, Diego the Podcaster, or Bonus Overdrive Wednesday. The information shared on Bonus Overdrive Wednesday is provided on an as-is basis, with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness.